Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you all again for viewing the channel, listening to the podcast on the airwaves, enjoying the content, and continue to be avid listeners. I want to make it clear, and for the record, I'm not at liberty to give out the name of the podcast because I'm not the owner. I don't create it. What I do is, as I'm there, I make sure I record my own snippet, which I have been given approval to do, being that I'm just there for the topic of the day. So the topic of the day for today is being able to keep your composure while things around you are going wild. Okay, first and foremost, understand this. You cannot control anyone else but yourself. Okay? And this is speaking from personal experience. I would not speak about anything that I haven't experienced myself. You cannot control anything other than yourself. And the best way to control any situation is by controlling yourself and how you react to the circumstances around you. Case in point, if you're having an argument with another grown adult and it's starting to go left, I mean, the person is in your face, you can feel their breath on your lips, you can smell what they've been eating, what they've been drinking, especially when it gets to the point where you're arguing with a drunk person. We'll get onto that. Always remember, the outcome is controllable by the person who realizes they can control the outcome. Now, I was taught as a young man never to argue with a drunk. Never argue with a drunk. You can't make sense to a person that is already cognitively impaired. They are not themselves. And everyone knows that liquid courage brings forth many suppressed emotions. Now, moving on to another section into being composed. There is no moral payout for people who are calm, cool, and collected. Understand that you will not be the person that's going to get the benefit of the doubt. Everyone else is going to know. In today's society, everyone notices, and everyone else notices when people are being irrational, they are being violent, and they are being aggressive. Those people are the ones that end up winning the battle, the face front. They're winning that. You, on the other hand, who's able to control only yourself, need to understand that you will not win you will not win the war if you fight the same way that your enemy is fighting. You have to approach it differently. If you're able to leave a battle unscathed, untouched, I'm talking about no one is dying, no one is dead, you have won the war. But understand this, there are consequences to winning a war. You have to deal with the aspect of the people who you were involved with during that war, whether they were in opposition to you or whether they were on your side. You have to take into account what you were fighting the war for. If you were in the wrong or they were in the wrong. If you did the encroachment or they did the encroachment. Understand that being poised during a storm there's no book that can keep you calm. You have to be thrust in so much bull crap that you have developed the ability to be comfortable during uncomfortable situations. When you get to that level of being comfortable during uncomfortable situations, you, my friend, my dear listener, has become the Zen master. If you're able to fight people off with your words, you, my friend, are the Zen master. A third point that I want to point out. Always seek retreat. You need to listen. I know some people say you want to fight or flight. There's not a single person that have seen an action movie where the people doing the fighting and the stabbing and the shooting and the killing don't leave. They don't just stand around. They're always looking for a way to get away. That's a person who's able to think positively in a negative situation. We can do an example like this. We're going to use a movie example. Anyone has ever seen the movie Expendables? When you see the movie Expendables, the guys go in, the missionaries or whatever they call them. I don't know what they call them. I guess they're hired contract killers. When they go in to do a job, it gets fuzzy. It gets a lot of friction. They go in there, they kill people, they get shot up, they get stabbed, they stab some people. Then they leave. They try to get out, save the people who they can and get out. You never want to get into an altercation with anybody and you don't have a retreat plan. And it's not a retreat plan like, oh, I'm gonna hit somebody and then I'm gonna run. No, after you, even in cases where you end up winning that battle, you beat the person up, you win the argument, you need to get out of there. Because if you let the argument or the situation continue to fester and give that person a chance to recuperate, they're gonna come back, and they're gonna come back even stronger. The fourth point I want to make, not just controlling the aspect of by controlling yourself, learning how to get away, or any other point I made out. The main focus, if there are children involved, your goal is to get the children out of the way first. We're living in a day and time where I've seen people get into fights with kids in their arms. I've seen pregnant women fight. Kids in strollers. I see the kids screaming and hollering. You don't want to become those people that get world starred. There is no good thing about being put on the internet for a negative situation. My last objective. If you're arguing with someone over somebody else's wrongdoings, this is the thing. And this is like a double standard. You don't, and if it's your friend or somebody who you know and you're with them, I'll give you an example. You guys are in a bar, you and a group of your friends, and you're getting rowdy, and another group of people are becoming irritated by your rowdiness. And yeah, your friends are being a bit extra. You notice that. Next thing you know, a fight breaks out between your group of friends and the group of people who are there who are getting irritated. The time to chastise right then and there is not appropriate. What you do is you need to de-escalate the situation. Whoop whoever's ass you need to whip. But remember, when it's all said and done and you finally get along with your group of friends, you make sure you address the problem and you hand out another whooping. You want to stand united even if you're in the opposition. But believe that it has to be spoken about when people are doing wrong. When you're doing wrong, you have to be man enough to admit that you're doing wrong. Or woman enough to admit that you're doing wrong. This is all about being calm during sticky situations. I don't care if it's a person that's pulling out a gun and doing some shooting. You need to talk this person down and get as many people as you can out of there, including yourself. If you have to sacrifice yourself to do that, then so be it. But you never, ever, ever win. You will never, ever win a war by fighting the same way that only way you'll win is it's like playing Connect 4. Two people are equally matched. And in their equally matchness, however you want to call it, and however you want to describe it, the person with the best battle strategy is the person that's going to win. Now, if you both have the same strategy, wait until the end, then you don't know who's going to win unless you change it up. You have to be able to change up your way in order to control the situation. If you're not able to control the situation, then it shows who's not in control. But if you're able to control the situation and people leave, or it gets de-escalated and no punches are thrown or no blood is spilled, pat yourself on the back. You have just become the Zen master. Let me know what you think in the comment sections below. If you enjoyed the content, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. That's what the comment section is for. We can debate about it. We can talk about it. I'm going to leave my email in the description box for future topics. I have been receiving those topics, and I've spoken on these topics before. I'll continue to control and record my content so it can get out to the masses. And you all have a great day.